tortured artist is not an excuse. Basement rant for y'all. I don't mean to call anybody out here, you know, if anything, I'm calling out myself. There's this archetype that I guess is like a 19th century, like romanticism era ideal surrounding creative people that hasn't gone away, of the tortured artist. This notion of suffering for your art, and suffering because being an artist is hard. And artists feel out of place and ostracized in society because normal people don't understand art the way an artist does. And finally, that the artist is essentially condemned by their creativity to a certain kind of life, left to rot in a cold and dead world that heeds them not. Look, I won't front with you, like, artists do benefit from the existence of this archetype, kinda, because audiences historically have found it a very compelling topic to consume art about. Mystique. I suffer and I put it in my art. The intensity of my experience is justified through what I make with these hands. I'm having fun, but there's nothing inherently wrong with this. But I make this video because I do think that there is an interpretation of this concept that can be pretty toxic. And speaking from experience, has been toxic to my life. Look, and I'm not just talking about like, romanticizing drugs because your favorite artist did them. I'm talking about being comfortable with dysfunction and using your artistry as an excuse to not improve. I'm fucked up because I'm an artist, ergo, I'll always be fucked up. I will say, creative and sensitive people, they're not faking it when they feel this way. Like when they feel out of place or perceive that their minds work a little differently from other people and that the world feels confusing or hard to maneuver because you're a certain way and you can't change that. There is a sensitivity there that is sincere. But I can tell you that in my life, I have used the tortured artist thing as a means to justify my own personal dysfunction. I mean, maybe I didn't use that exact term, but something along those lines of like the artist who's like out of line with society. Fucking black sheep, minor threat cover. How could I possibly be organized and methodical? I'm an artistic young man. I'm spontaneous. It flows through me. Isn't it weird how, from society's perspective, it's almost okay to be a fuck up if you're an artist? You know what I mean? Like at the big family reunion, say you're 30 and you're broke, your relatives would scathe you least, maybe, if your occupation of choice was aspiring artist. Like, it's okay to be young and an artist and not have it figured out, because being an artist is hard. And you can identify as an artist and not really have any success to show for it. I'm generalizing, of course. You know what I'm saying, though. But there is a difference, ultimately, between not having it figured out yet at this point in time and never trying to figure it out. Never improving your luck for the future. To wallow in the acceptability of like things not going your way, or doing the same things over and over with like no real progress and convincing yourself that that's how it works. I grew up admiring some artists who were interesting to me because their art moved me, but what made them even more interesting was that their personal lives were a mess. Heroin addict rock star, alcoholic novelist, sociopathic filmmaker. Like, names popped into your head, I'm sure. Like, I saw that one David Bowie interview. You know the one I'm fucking talking about. He's got the fucking glasses on and he's like, to be an artist is to be dysfunctional. And I said, aha! Well, it's not so crazy that I have all these problems. And in fact, maybe the problems are what I signed up for, because I am an artist. And it is therefore okay for me to be comfortable with these problems and never do anything about them. Speaking for myself these days, like, I see this mentality as just being ego, because we're artists and we're delusional and we're egotistical. I don't know how we get away with it, to be honest with you. Like, everybody has problems, poet or layman. And just because we make art about our problems, it does not absolve us from the responsibility to take ourselves seriously. You can use the cruelty of an artistic life as a very convenient excuse for why you don't have the life that you want. Being creative doesn't make you exempt from the difficult, long road to success that you would have to go through with any other career. If I want art to be my job, I have to work twice as hard as people work their regular jobs that pay them. And I'm not at the whim of the universe. And really, if you choose to be, you don't have a right to get mad when nothing changes. Oh yeah, check out my music also, and other videos like this. Hey!